say Cam. I was going to say Cam is the
Remember, this is being live streamed, and your parents are watching probably, so don't do anything. Come on. Okay. First of all, move that table out of the front up here. Mr. Stick said something about doing some breakdancing. I don't know if that's going to be part of this thing. We'll see. We actually give us better sight lines for pictures. Just a point about that, if you are coming up to receive an award, you can take your mask off to come up to receive your award. Mr. Steck will not shake your hand, but he will hand you the award, and then pause for a moment. There'll be a picture. Mr. Cook is our photographer, so don't look at Mr. Steck, look at Mr. Cook, because that's, going to be a much better picture, okay? So those are somewhat of the ground rules, and let's begin. Good evening, seniors, and those family members and friends watching us on the live stream. Welcome to the first ever awards banquet, but the 40th annual gathering held by Padua Franciscan High School to honor the achievements of the members of the senior class, in this case, the class of 2020. While the venue and the format for this gathering is different from the norm, as just about everything else in life is at this point, we are nevertheless grateful that we could carry on this important Padua tradition in what we feel is a very fitting way. Before getting into the awards themselves, we want to take a moment to recognize 6 seniors who have made the commitment to serve their country in the armed forces. Most of them have already received their diploma in a private ceremony and have reported for duty. A couple of them are here tonight, and I would ask that they stand to be recognized when their name is called. Lucas Bewley will serve in the United States Marines. Rocco Coracion has already reported to the United States Marines. Gabe Jomeda will be reporting to the Brazilian Navy. Chris LaRue is serving in the United States Air Force. And Michelle Liu and Manus McCaffrey, Army National Guard. We want to thank them for their commitment to their country. Nearly all of the rest of the class of 2020 will be heading off to college in the fall. We are pleased to report that nearly 80% of them were accepted into their first choice school, and over 90% of the class was accepted into one or more of their top 3 preferences for college. In addition, 61% of this graduating class has been offered one or more non-need-based scholarships or grants amounting to over $13 million. The graduation booklet that you and your family will receive at Thursday's commencement has a listing of all of the scholarships that each member of the class has been offered. At this time, Mr. Sick has already come forward. We're going to begin the awards part of the presentation. He's always ready. That's what I like about him. There are a number of outside, we're going to begin with a number of outside groups who have given special awards to our seniors in a variety of areas: academics, athletics, and the arts. The first is the United States Figure Skating Association, whose Graduating Seniors Award recognizes the hard work of student athletes who have participated in figure skating throughout high school. Awards are given at the platinum, gold, silver, and bronze levels based off the skater's level of competitive achievement in high school. Will the following students please come forward to accept their award? Graduating Senior Silver Level Award, Elise Andel. Erica Marquardt. And Natalie Solomon. Graduating senior gold level award goes to Chloe Amoroso. A graduating senior bronze level award, she could not be with us tonight, Samantha Milano. For many years, the Italian American Cultural Foundation, the Southwest Italian American Club, and the Italian American Cultural Union, as well as the Santi Catholic Union, have sought to promote the Italian language program at Padua Franciscan by sponsoring a number of awards for students taking Italian. The recipients have already received their award, but I would ask that they stand and be recognized when I read their names. The first awards go to the winners of the Italian Literature Awards, in which students have read one of the books donated by these organizations and wrote an essay on the Italian-American experience. Having received a second place $300 award, Gianna Bordenaro. And our first place award winner receiving a $500 award, Gianna Mascardini. I also want to add that Gianna Mascardini is also the recipient of this year's Italian Language Award, which came with a check for $250. Congratulations, ladies. The Mathematical Association of America sponsors an exam each year to determine outstanding achievement in math. This year, senior Cecilia Lee was awarded first place in this prestigious competition. Unfortunately, Cecilia has already returned to South Korea and could not be here with us this evening. But congratulations, she may be watching on the live stream. The American Red Cross relies on high schools to provide more than 20% of its blood supply. In recognition for her leadership in our Bloodmobile program for this school year, actually their leadership, Angela Falcone and Sarah Zimmerly were awarded a $250 American Red Cross scholarship. Although they have already received this award, I would ask them to come forward to accept the red cord that they will wear at graduation. The Padua Franciscan Blood Drive would also like to recognize the following students as gallon donors, and I would ask them to come up here to receive their red cord if they are here. Angela Wise, Tom Malloy, Katie Barron, and John Flory. Just a side note about graduation cords. Those of you who are senior class officers, members of NHS, or MedTrack students, you will receive your cord for graduation when you check in Thursday night in the Cahoot Atrium. Someone will be there to hand your cord to you. So we didn't forget about you. We just don't have all those cords here tonight because not everyone is here. The National Federation of High Schools Award of Excellence is presented to the senior athletes who demonstrate exemplary sportsmanship and integrity, are positive role models for others, and achieve excellence in their academic careers. This year's award is presented to Samantha Ott and Ella Mahasevich. That spike good. The Parma Amateur Athletic Federation is based upon a combination, the Parma Amateur Athletic Federation Award is based on a combination of academic honors, athletic participation, and athletic achievement. This year's award goes to Madison Miles and Carson Smith. got nice boxes that go with that with like bubble wrap and stuff, so if you get that afterwards, there's even a battery for the clock. So come and get that after the show. The Ohio High School Athletic Association Scholar Athlete Award is presented to senior athletes who excel academically while participating in athletics during their high school career. This year's award is presented to Devin Peterson and Peter Heinzerland. The Ohio High School Athletic Association established the Archie Griffin Sportsmanship Award to recognize one male and one female student athlete who demonstrate outstanding traits of sportsmanship. This year's recipients, Alex Stocker and John Atkins. Please come forward. Right out of the woods here, John. That's beautiful. Grizzly bear on the way home. All right. Following award honors the memory of John Payton, who was a 1974 Padua graduate and a Parma native, and who dedicated himself to enhancing the lives of young people throughout the greater Cleveland area. Positions that John Payton held included athletic director at Padua, director of the Cleveland Baseball Federation, trustee of the Parma Amateur Athletic Federation, president of the Cleveland Touchdown Club, and the commissioner of our North Coast League. Selected by Padua Franciscan High School and the North Coast League, the 2020 John Payton Meritorious Award goes to John Atkins. Come on back up, John. Very good, Jack. At this time, I'd like Mr. Steck to take over the microphone for the presentation of the awards for the class of 2020, valedictorian and salutatorian.
Yeah, dude.
There it is. I got cooties apparently.
The distinguished awards of valedictorian and salutatorian are presented to two students who have achieved outstanding academic excellence while here at Padua Franciscan High School. At the end of 7 semesters, they are the two students with the highest cumulative grade point averages. Specifically, the valedictorian is the student who has the highest GPA after 7 semesters, and the salutatorian is the student who has the second highest GPA after 7 semesters. At this time, will this year's valedictorian, Angela Falcone, and this year's salutatorian, Nicole Lapucci, please come forward and receive their medals. As the valedictorian, Angela currently holds a 4.936 cumulative grade point average after 7 semesters. And the salutatorian, Nicole, holds a 4.866 cumulative grade point average after 7 semesters. Give them one more round of applause. Our valedictorian, Angela, will present her valedictory address at graduation. However, at this time, we are pleased to focus our attentions on Nicole's salutatory speech.
Yes.
Class of 2020, I am so glad that after all this time, we finally have the opportunity to come together as a class again and celebrate our accomplishments over the past 4 years. Padua will have a lasting impact on our lives, and I am so happy that we are getting a proper goodbye, even if it happens to be 2 months later than expected. We have all seen or been asked the classic essay question: describe a time you encountered a struggle and how you overcame it. I think we all can agree that the ending to our senior year certainly answers this question. We have all experienced an unthinkable hardship, that a few months ago was only seen in fantasy or sci-fi movies. We have had to overcome a struggle that was unthinkable prior to this. We as a senior class have struggled like no other. We are forever going to be remembered, and 20 years down the road, we are going to be written about in history books for how we didn't get a traditional senior year. And although we can be bitter and wish our year ended differently, I think it is so important to take a step back and see the good that has been brought on by this quarantine. If anything, this situation has taught us to live life to the fullest, to not take anything for granted, because we really do not know what tomorrow brings. How could we have known that that cold Thursday in March would have been our last day of high school? No one expected this, but I think it makes this moment right here so much more special. We are cherishing every moment we have. I think now more than ever, we are grateful for the little things, like grabbing coffee with our friends, going out to eat, or even playing video games in the same room. I hope when we look back on this time, it is with humility and acceptance, not bitterness or resentment. While we missed out on some traditional memories, we made even more special ones that we are never going to forget. We're going to remember driving to a random parking lot with our friends, talking in the trunks of our cars for hours, going to see the sunrise on a Tuesday morning, something we would not have been able to do during the school year. We are going to remember sneaking onto the field to play with our friends and teammates, and going on hikes in the metro parks because that was the only thing we could do for such a long time. We are going to remember late night Zooms with our friends and not having to stress over our last finals, going to Padua during our last days as seniors driving around, and of course, participating in a scavenger hunt all over town, revisiting the places that made our Padua experience so special. We have found a way to turn this situation into a positive, to connect with the people who made our high school experiences so memorable. During these past 4 years, we have made some incredible friendships that are bound to last a lifetime. Who would have thought that the room-based group chat that was created at the freshman mixer would still exist over 4 years later? It is amazing to see all the friendships that have lasted since the beginning of freshman year and the new relationships that have formed over the years. I think the past couple of months have only drawn us closer to each other, strengthening the bond we all have before we part our separate ways. We walked in the gym 4 short years ago as little nervous freshmen, proudly wearing our Always a Bruin shirts. We were eager to start the next chapter of our lives and listened intently when Mr. Speck uttered his infamous words, "We are never lost, alone, or late." Well, I can definitely say I've been late one too many times. Sorry to all the theology wing teachers. But as a class, we have all grown so much from those scared freshmen, and we all deserve to be proud of our achievements. Our education at Padua has taught us lessons much greater than the unit circle or photosynthesis. Whether it was one of Mrs. Kinsey's quotes, Mr. Ship's Monday Bible readings, or Mr. Jenrich's humor reminding us to not take life so seriously, we took a life lesson from each of our classes. The teachers here have pushed us all, and at times it wasn't easy and honestly way too stressful. But we leave Padua confident and prepared to conquer whatever God puts in our path. As we leave Padua, we have some incredible memories to take with us. Looking back, we came together as a class and were able to win coin wars 3 out of the 4 years at Padua, a feat most classes couldn't even dream of saying. Thanks to our amazing volleyball team, we went down to Wright State every single fall and brought home back-to-back state titles. The theater department put on some incredible shows, and we were all awed by their talents in shows like Dance of the Opera. Every Friday during the fall, we bundled up to watch Coach Cole lead the football team under the bright lights, and were dazzled by the band's halftime show. Sophomore year, the football team even made it to the playoffs for the first time in 7 years, giving us more Friday nights in the stands. And we were able to beat Holy Name 4 years in a row. Our teachers made sure our classes were never dull, and first and 11th period collections really brought up the competitive nature in all of us, with teachers swallowing goldfish and having impromptu bake sales. Our class traveled all over the world, serving others in the Dominican Republic and Florida, playing sports in Myrtle Beach and Kentucky, and performing at Seventh Hall and Carnegie Hall. We bonded even more during the Kairos 41 and 42 retreats, building a relationship with God that will be with us forever. I think this year's Olympic Day is perhaps the most special memory we hold together, as it was the last time we were all together as a class. singing the alma mater, dancing ridiculously to One Direction, doing the renegade, and getting trampled during the do it cheer is something we will never forget. Although this is only a fragment of our time at Padua, I think it is important to look back at all the incredible memories we have created over 4 years. Even though we wished our time away, stressed over midterms and research papers, and shed a few too many tears than we'd like to admit, I think we all can agree we would do anything to have one more week in Padua camps, taking minimum campus ministry and Mr. Ship, and competing in one last cup challenge in Mr. Larson's class. It is the littlest things that make Padua our home. And I think it is important to realize that although graduation and the end of our senior year are huge and monumental moments in our lives, it is not our prime. Better days are coming. Futures filled with doctors, lawyers, engineers, entrepreneurs, musicians, and more. Our class is full of so many diverse talents, and I know we will leave our mark on the world. While this wasn't the ending to our year we had envisioned, I am so grateful that we finally have the opportunity to come together as a Padua community again. If anything, this time has taught us what being a Bruin truly means. We truly are one dream, one team, one family. Thank you.
All right, now we're going to present awards that have been generated here at Padua within our school. We're going to begin with some special music awards, which are normally announced and presented at our music concerts. Here to present these awards is our instrumental music director, Mr. Mark Bosniak.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jalivo. Thank you, Mr. Speck, for having me at this. As he said, these awards are normally given away at our spring concert, which, of course, was canceled. The awards we're going to give out tonight are some awards that are nationally recognized throughout music education, and all of the recipients' names will be entered in national registries, and their names will be engraved on plaques that hang in the band room. The first award we're giving out is called the Wayne F. Miller Musicianship Award. For over 50 years, Mr. Wayne Miller shared his talents and love of music with the Padua Franciscan High School community. From the school's opening in 1961 to the year of his passing in 2013, Mr. Miller could be found in the halls, the band room, and practice rooms of Padua, continuing his tradition and legacy of excellence in the Padua Franciscan music program. This award honors outstanding students who display professionalism, creativity, and musicianship. The recipient of this year's Wayne F. Miller Musicianship Award is Cecilia Lee, who could not be here tonight since she's in South Korea. The next award is sponsored by the United States Marine Corps. It's called the Semper Fidelis Award for Music. This award is designed to recognize distinguished high school band members for musical achievements and leadership as a high school scholar. Candidates should be exemplary young citizens and role models for other students. This program is sponsored by the United States Marine Corps and the United States Marines Youth Foundation. Award recipients may be those who were most inspirational or showed the greatest determination. This year's Semper Fidelis Award for Musical Excellence is presented to Christy Blatnick. The Tri-M Music Honor Society, a program of the National Association for Music Education, recognizes music students for their efforts and accomplishments in music on the basis of musicianship, scholarship, character, leadership, and service to their school and community. The organization's high standards serve to challenge students to greater effort and achievement and to encourage the pursuits of excellence. This year, Tri-M Chapter 6516 is proud to present the Service Award to Sarah Zimmerly. The next award is called the Louie Armstrong Jazz Award. Louie Armstrong was a jazz trumpeter, singer, composer, and occasional actor who was known for his innovative solos and gravely raspy scat singing. He was integral in the development of jazz music throughout his career, which spanned over 4 decades and numerous styles of jazz. The Louie Armstrong Jazz Award honors the outstanding member of the school jazz band who best exemplifies professionalism, positive attitude, musicianship, and dedication. The recipient of this year's Louie Armstrong Jazz Award is Michael Dottenville. The John Philip Sousa Band Award was introduced in 1955 to honor the top students in a high school band. The Sousa Award is the pinnacle of achievement in a high school band, recognizing superior professionalism, musicianship, attitude, and dedication. The recipient of this year's John Philip Sousa Band Award is Sin Yu Yao, who could not be here. The National School Choral Award is the counterpart to the John Philip Sousa Band Award and is the pinnacle of achievement in a high school choir, recognizing superior professionalism, musicianship, attitude, and dedication. The recipient of this year's National School Choral Award is Kayla Slater. Orchestra Award. The National School Orchestra Award is the counterpart to the John Philip Sousa Band Award and is the pinnacle of achievement in a high school orchestra, recognizing superior professionalism, musicianship, attitude, and dedication. The recipient of this year's National School Orchestra Award is Christy Blackman. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all of our recipients.
We're going to switch over to academics. So the following students have received highest honors because they are graduating with a 4.0 grade point average or higher. I would ask them to come forward when their name is called. Gabriel Abboud. Elise Andel. Grace R. Curry. Nicole Barsa. Charlie Beatty, who cannot be here with us this evening. Lance Bell. Christine Blatnick. Gianna Bordenara. Ashley Bruner. Madison Campbell. Elizabeth Clemente. Colleen Doucette. Madeline Doherty. Kayla Sidlecki. Natalie Solomon. Why did you look surprised? Just look of surprise on me. I got your report card. Olga Vasilou. She wasn't surprised. She was like, thank you. 2 years of practice. Angela Wise. And Sarah Zimmerly. You know, each year Padua faculty recognizes student excellence in specific departmental areas. The departmental awards are presented to those seniors who have shown an interest and enthusiasm in a particular subject and have demonstrated excellent achievement in each of the following academic areas. The winners are nominated and voted upon by the members of each department. When I call your name, please come forward. The Business Award, unfortunately, cannot be here with us tonight, goes to Santan Nguyen. Computer Science Award, Madeline Doherty. The English Department, Emily Nizgoda. Studio Art, Chloe Amoroso. Instrumental Music, Sarah Zimmerly. Performing Arts, Grant Bell. In Vocal Music, Kayla Slater. Moving over to the Foreign Language Department, the German Award this year goes to Amelia Greiner. The Italian Award, Gianna Mascardini. The Latin Award, Jeremy Bonsella. The Spanish Award, Angela Falcone. The Mathematics Department Award goes to Ella Mahasevich. The Science Award is broken down into disciplines. Receiving this year's Life Science Award, Nicole Labucci. This year's Physics Award goes to Christine Blattnick. And the Chemistry Award, Peter Heinzeling. The Social Studies Department Award this year goes to Madeline Doherty. And this year's Theology Department Award, Ashley Bruner. The next group of awards are generated by various groups and organizations within Padua, the first of which is the Yearbook Award. The Yearbook Award is presented to the senior editor most responsible for the successful completion of the yearbook from conception of theme to publication. This year's award goes to Maddie Doherty. The Instrument of Peace Award is given to that senior who, by his or her participation in and leadership of the programs of campus ministry, has served its mission and has shown consistent and faithful service during his or her time at Padua Franciscan High School. This student, throughout his or her efforts, has significantly demonstrated the teachings of St. Francis to preach the gospel at all times and, if necessary, use words. This year's Instrument of Peace recipient is Jack Atkins. The MedTrack Award is given to one senior who demonstrates superior academic performance, leadership, and has demonstrated a commitment to both the MedTrack program and the healthcare profession. The recipient of the 2020 MedTrack Award is Ashley Bruner. Each year, the St. Bonaventure chapter of the National Honor Society presents the Torch and Keystone Award to the senior National Honor Society member who best exemplifies character, leadership, service, and scholarship. The winner is selected by a vote of the current senior members. The 2020 Torch and Keystone recipient is Sarah Zimmerling. At this time, I would like to ask the NHS President, Maria Rich, to come forward to present the National Honor Society St. Anthony Award for Teaching Excellence.
Woo!
The St. Bonaventure chapter of National Honor Society presents the St. Anthony Award for Teaching Excellence. The St. Anthony Award is given annually to the Padua teacher who, in the eyes of the departing senior National Honor Society class, has best fostered intellectual rigor and academic excellence while also modeling the values of character, service, and leadership to students. The teacher shall have made a lasting impact to the growth of young people, not only as scholars, but as human beings. The winner of the St. Anthony Award for Teaching Excellence for 2020 is Mr. Seth Denrich.
something in honor of it. Did I see they have any? Perfect attendance. One of my favorites. I love it. The following students had perfect attendance except for school-related events for all 4 years in Padua. As I read your name, please come forward. Amelia Greiner. Angelina Haddad. Maria Rich. And Sarah Zimmerling. This time I would ask Mr. Steck to again come forward and clean the microphone currently for the presentation of Phi Beta Kappa Award.
The Phi Beta Kappa Society was founded in 1776 to honor the scholarship and intellectual achievement of students of the arts and sciences in our colleges and universities. The Cleveland Association of Phi Beta Kappa was chartered in 1947. Since its inception, it has sought to recognize scholastic excellence as exemplified by outstanding high school students throughout the Cleveland area. Each year, the Cleveland Association, in cooperation with the public and private high schools of the area, honors the individual student in each high school who has been nominated by his or her school as being worthy of recognition for outstanding scholarship, academic initiative, and total achievement. Through this award system, we hope not only to honor the individual student, but also to stimulate the ideal of high academic achievement among all high school students in Northern Ohio. It gives me great pleasure to present this year's Phi Beta Kappa Award to the outstanding student at Padua Franciscan High School, Sarah Zimmerman.
Okay, we've come to the part of the program where it's time to present the 4 biggest awards that we generate here within Padua Franciscan High School. The Mr. and Ms. Bruin Award and the Mr. and Ms. Padua Awards. Obviously, only one student will be chosen for each of these awards, but I want to emphasize what an honor it is to even have been nominated. Each of the nominees should be proud of their accomplishments and the fact that they merited consideration for these awards. Believe me, making the final choices was not an easy task for our faculty and coaching staff. And so we begin with the Mr. and Ms. Bruin Award. Unique to Padua Franciscan High School's athletic department is the coveted Mr. and Ms. Bruin Award. The Mr. and Ms. Bruin Award is presented to the senior, selected by the athletic department and the coaches, who best represents the ideals of Padua athletics. The qualities on which these athletes are evaluated are their athletic skills, their athletic achievements in high school athletics, participation, coachability, sportsmanship, leadership, academics, and school involvement. The following young men have been nominated for the Mr. Bruin Award. I would ask, when your name is read, to stand and remain standing. John Atkins, Charlie Beatty, Johnny Harris, Peter Heinzerling, Manus McCaffrey, Nick Krusovic. Jonathan Rusin. Carson Smith. Let's give all these young men a round of applause. This year, the 2020 Mr. Bruin Award is presented to Johnny Harris. The following young women have been nominated for the Miss Bruin Award. Again, I would ask, when the name is called, to please stand and remain standing. Chloe Amoroso. Elizabeth Clemente. Ella Mahasevich. Maddie Miles. Samantha Ott. Devin Peterson. Alex Stocker. You gotta practice. Let's give all these young women a round of applause. The 2020 recipient of the Miss Bruin Award goes to Chloe Amoroso. By tradition, the Padua faculty has the honor of selecting one senior young man and one senior young woman who best represent the ideals of Padua Franciscan High School. The award of Mr. Padua and Miss Padua is given to seniors who exemplify the finest characteristics and ideal of the ideal Padua man and the ideal Padua woman. All facets of personality are considered in the selection of this honor: Christian values, Franciscan compassion, academic dedication, strong character, superior leadership qualities, and concerned citizenship. The following young men were nominated by the Padua faculty for Mr. Padua. Please stand and remain standing when your name is called. Gabe Abood, Jack Atkins, Grant Bell, Peter Heinzerling, Cameron Rogers. Let's give all these young men a round of applause. This year's Mr. Padua for the class of 2020, Cameron Rogers. The following young women were nominated by the Padua faculty for Miss Padua. Again, please stand and remain standing when your name is called. Elizabeth Clemente, Colleen Doucette, Ella Mahasevich, Maria Rich, Sarah Zimmerly. Let's give all these young ladies. The recipient of this year's Miss Padua for the class of 2020, Maria Rich. As you know, all the nominees, just fantastic young men and women. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Steck to come forward and present a few brief remarks to the seniors.
Hi, everyone. I feel a little out of practice, but I will tell you this. I haven't had this much joy since March 13th. I was just telling Mr. Jalivo that it's hard sometimes to find excitement, and I recognize that the excitement comes from being with you. We've really missed you very, very much. And I'm very, very happy that we're together today. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment to thank all those people who made this day possible for you, namely your parents and guardians who sacrificed so much to give you a Padua education. But I also want to really thank the faculty and staff of Padua Franciscan High School for their dedication and commitment to the success we celebrate today. It took a lot from everybody to get here. Amongst the COVID closure, I wondered, did you really ever think about what Padua really taught you or meant to you, or made different in you? What will you remember about being a brew? Is it about pants and polos and heat days? Or about being in different tracks? Is it about eating barely cooked cookies with spoons? Or is it about hoarding your coins and giving them to the poor annually at Christmas time? I wonder if you will stick things to the wall only with blue tape from now on. And wherever you go, will you leave your lockers unlocked and your valuables on the floor? I would suggest you don't. Well, I hope it's more than that. I promise you, when you go out in the world, you will see things differently because you're a Bruin. As you take this next step into your life, you will certainly be challenged to make hard decisions. But a Bruin knows the answer. You know what to do and what not to do. You have the tools within you. You will see injustice and want to fix it. You will see people being mistreated, and you'll want to stop it. You will see bad things, and you will not want to be a part of it. And along with your parents, everything we did at Padua was to help you prepare for this moment. Over the last 4 years or so, we have tried to get you to see things differently. After Mass or after an event, trying to help you understand the real reason behind Lent and CFO, Olympic Day, rallies, Spirit Weeks, Poem Wars, and even now COVID. I hope you learn those lessons. I hope those seeds fall on solid, fertile ground. It's hard to believe that what has happened here since March. It's difficult for me to get my head around it all. And I can only imagine how this has turned you upside down. But I will tell you, I am so happy that we are here together today. And we keep all those not with us in our thoughts and prayers as well. I am so proud of you all. As you reflect back over your Padua experience, I wonder what you will hold on to. As Nicole pointed out, on your first day of school, I did tell you that you're never late, lost, or alone. What does that really mean in life? Being late is one thing, and some of you took that late thing way too far. But being lost only happens if you don't ask for directions or help. I still feel lost at times right now. But I know that there are people to help me find my way. My friends, my family, my coworkers. There is no shame in asking for help. We are better together. As far as being alone, I hope you recognize that you are surrounded by a Bruin family that knows you and loves you very, very much. In Christian life class, I remember telling you to be kind to yourself and to be gentle with each other because you're not what you are going to be yet. But look at you now, full beards and all. I also told you that you were beautiful or handsome just the way God made you to be, and to be yourself. And never make fun of people for things they didn't choose, because you don't know everybody's story. I hope you hold on to some of that wisdom, because it's still very true. And just as important, I hope that many themes over the years stay with you, realizing that we are better together, that we are one family, and that our actions are louder than our words. There is a storm of brewing. Hopefully not on Thursday. Don't forget to roar. Living a life that's happy, healthy, and holy, and highly prepared is a pretty nice way to live. But this year's theme was a God nod. It's what I call God showing off. How could we have ever known how much we would have been transformed? Opening day, I spoke to you about being superheroes, letting your gifts out to help others. And I suppose there's a joke about us all wearing masks now. But more importantly, it's about being heroic. To see how many members of the Padua family were on the front lines was heroic. What your family did was heroic. What we as Padua did was heroic. What you did was inspiring. Class of 2020, you are superheroes. But you're not done. You see, you need to transform all of this. We need you to help change our world. Just like I said at CFO Max, the toy is not a toy. It's a smile. And the blanket is not a blanket. It's life. This thing is not what it is. It has to be transformed into something great. To count our blessings, to appreciate community, and to love more. These are the transforming lessons of COVID, but particularly Padua. Be grateful. Having an attitude of gratitude is a blessing to everyone. Always take time every day to thank God for what you've been given. Thank others often, especially your family, your teachers, your friends, for they all have done great things for you. And always try to find the joy and blessing in every moment, even in these unprecedented times. Believe that things are happening for you and not to you. You can transform this experience. You can figure out what this really was about. Your struggle has made you strong. Find the joy in life, be optimistic, and choose to be happy. Throughout your time here, you've given us so much to be thankful for. You are wonderfully generous people. For that, I thank you, and don't stop doing it. Class of 2020, don't ever question whether or not you will be remembered. That's a given. And what a story you have to tell. More importantly, don't ever forget what we've learned. Take it and transform our world. We need you now more than ever. Know that we love you and that you are always a member of this family. And no matter where you go, you are never alone, you're always a Bruin, and you're always welcome home. Thank you for being on this amazing journey with us. And as always, go Bruins.
We'd be remiss if we ended this evening without a couple of very, very important thank yous. Normally this next thing we do at graduation practice, but hey, no practice. You guys just show up and I guess we figure it out Thursday night. It's going to be pretty simple, so it's going to be all right. One of the things we normally do at graduation practice is to recognize the senior class officers who have led you through this year. 9 out of the 10 of them are here tonight, and I'd like them to stand at this point and be recognized for their leadership of the senior class. Class officers, stand up. Sadie, Colleen, Angela, where are you? Kayla, Emily, Avery, Teddy, the hall is, I was scrolling through pictures on my gallery the other day of all, I took pictures of all the senior hall during Spirit Week. It was outstanding. And Olympic Day speaks for itself. It was wonderful. Coin wars, all that stuff. And these guys put in a ton of time, a ton of hours, and mostly showed up for Wednesday meetings. And we had a lot of fun together, and I want to thank you very much. Thank you. Along those lines, you may notice that Mrs. DeCesar's not with us here this evening as the co-moderator. She'd love to be here, except she's in Albuquerque. Mrs. DeCesar got married last year, and she and her new husband were out at a conference out in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at a Franciscan conference, and they just fell in love with the city. And they decided, let's move here. And so they did. So about 2 weeks ago, they got in a car and shipped their things, and she sends her warm love and greetings from Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she will be starting sort of a second career, third career, whatever out there. So anyways, but she was a great lady to work with, and I know those of you who stop by and rate her candy dish every day down the Guides appreciated her warm smile. The other thing is that I hope that you have an appreciation for a lot of what's been going on behind the scenes to make all these crazy things come together at the end. Of course, the parents were going to do the summer formal thing tomorrow night. They're working tirelessly on that, and the scavenger hunt, and all your parents that have taken part in that. I hope you thank them for that. But there's a number of people, many of them here tonight, who've been really just trying to adjust all different changes and still make an end of the year that's fantastic for you. And so Mr. Duraco, Ms. Holes, and Brother Tom, and Ms. Fratteri, Mrs. DiGirolmo's not here, but she's been working on all these things, and a number of others. Our custodial staff's been going crazy, and the office staff, they've all been working really hard. I was principal for 11 years, and usually on July the 10th, I was walking out the office with the beginning of the year ready to go, and I was going to take 3 or 4 weeks just to clear my head and get ready for the next school year. Well, Mr. Steck's been here, and all the others just trying to get through this year, and here we are, and it's July the 12th. So all of these people have done a fantastic job, but I want to tell you, the buck stops at the top. And the job that Mr. Steck has done, and what he has done for our school, and how he has led us, shown us true leadership during the whole COVID thing, just causes me to be in awe. Fantastic principal. You guys were blessed to have him. Thank you, Mr. Steck. And now for the parting gifts. So, if there was like a prom, if there was going to be these little invitation things, we have them all printed up and ready to go. A party of the decade. On the table as you leave out front, if you want a little memento of the event that didn't happen, but it's like one of those big, like the rookie baseball card, when the guy makes the Hall of Fame, or you know what I mean? Or when please take it just as a souvenir. And this was the sort of the prom favor that was going to go out. It's a little picture frame with Padua and everything else on it here. And all of you are welcome to take one of these on the way out. I hope that you do. And Kayla, where are you, Kayla? I want to give you any extras tonight to take to tomorrow's event and give them out all the time, money and back. Give everything away. All right? So, let's see. Mr. and Miss Padua, Mr. and Miss Bruin, Mr. Cook would like to see you when we dismiss to get a picture. And with that, we're going to conclude the evening. It's the beginning of senior week. I think we had a great kickoff. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. See you at baccalaureate and graduation. And thanks, 2020. You guys are awesome. All right, hold on a second. Mr. Steck, need you. Hold on. See, he cut the feed now. He's going to say what he really